There's a man beneath the skyline, walking slow through city rain. No one knows the storms he carries. No one feels the weight of pain. He once stood among the loud ones, chasing dreams that burn too fast. Now he moves through empty avenues, letting silence hold the past. Every promise carved in memory, every lesson carved in bone, build a calm that walks beside him. Through the night he walks alone. He don't argue with the darkness, he don't beg the world to see that a quiet kind of courage is the rarest kind to be. A man who walks alone at night, under dim and distant lights, doesn't need the crowd to stay, he already found his way. A man who walks alone at night, with a heart that learned control, carries storms the world can't see, deep inside a silent soul. Years from now the streets will change, different faces, different names, but the night will still remember every quiet step he made. He just nods and keeps on moving through the glow of passing cars, knowing silence is a language spoken best beneath the stars. A man who walks alone tonight, under dim and distant lights, doesn't need the crowd to stay, he already found his way. A man who walks alone tonight, with a heart that learned control, carries storms the world can't see, deep inside a silent soul. Alone tonight, under dim and distant lights, doesn't need the crowd to stay, he already found his way. A man who walks alone tonight, with a heart that learned control, carries storms the world can't see, deep inside a silent soul.
Some men stay and argue, some men stay and bleed. Some men think persistence is the only thing they need. But wisdom has a different voice, a softer kind of say. It teaches men the discipline of walking far away. once believed in fighting for every fading flame, but the years showed him a truth hidden inside the game. Not every door deserves a knock, not every war is right. Sometimes strength is knowing when to disappear at night. That's the quiet art of walking away. No anger, no defense, just a calm understanding of life and consequence. That's the quiet art of walking away, where dignity survives, and the peace that follows silence is the greatest win in life. The door closes behind him. The street welcomes his pace, and the night itself respects the calm upon his face.
Some nights pass like strangers. Some nights leave a mark, but every man remembers the night he met the dark, the night the truth arrived without a warning sign, the night he saw the difference between noise and peace of mind. He sat there with the candle, watching smoke dissolve, realizing every battle didn't have to be resolved. The years behind him whispered through the rhythm of the blues. Sometimes losing arguments is how a man can choose. That was the night he understood what silence really means, the calm beneath the surface of the life he used to lead. That was the night he understood what patience really shows, that wisdom doesn't shout, it simply learns and grows. And somewhere in that quiet bar, a different man stood up. a time he chased the noise, believed in louder dreams, believed the world will notice if he pulled the harder schemes. But years have quiet teachers hidden in defeat, and wisdom sometimes arrives on tired and patient feet. Now he sits beside the window with a drink he barely sips, watching strangers chase tomorrow with a restless fingertips. The city spins around him, but he moves at his own pace, because peace is not a trophy, it's a calm you have to face. Nothing left to prove tonight, nothing left to say, just the quiet understanding that he chose a wiser way. Nothing left to prove tonight, under candlelight so thin. The loud may chase attention, but the calm will always win. No victory parade, just a silent satisfaction of the man that he has made.
Streetlight falling on the pavement, midnight breathing soft and low. Every shadow knows my story, but no one else will ever know. Used to talk about my future, used to dream out loud and proud, but the world has ways of teaching quiet man to leave the crowd. I've been walking through decisions that no one else could ever see. Every step a silent promise of the man I had to be. Some doors closed without a warning, some friends faded in the rain. Some nights I learned the hard way how a man absorbs his pain. So I move in silence now, let the loud ones chase the sound. Every mile beneath these streetlights feels like sacred ground. No applause when I arrive, no farewell when I go, just footsteps on the streetlight and the truth only I know. There were words I never answered. There were fights I didn't start. There were storms that tried to break me, but they only shaped my heart. Now the city keeps on breathing while I walk the midnight line. A gentleman without a witness, leaving echoes far behind. Streetlight fades behind my shadow, but the road is always mine. Last light on the burns low, soft gold on an empty glass. Outside the city moves too fast, inside the night moves slow. A gentleman sits without speaking, like a man who's already decided. Some things are better carried quietly and explain to a crowded room. He remembers the years when he argued, when every truth had to be loud. When pride walked ahead of wisdom, silence felt like defeat. But time has its own instruction, hidden inside long nights. It teaches a man that control is stronger than any fight. So he listens to the room breathe, to the brushes on the drums, to the old guitar bending softly like a memory that refuses to leave. Soon he'll stand without a word, and the chair will stay behind. But the quiet way he carried in will still be in the air. Doesn't watch the clock. He measures time and choices in the things he walked away from and the ones he chose to keep. The bar is nearly empty,
but that suits him just fine, because silence reveals more truth than conversation ever could. He learned patience the hard way, watching loud men lose control, watching ambition burn bright and fade like cheap neon lights. So now he waits before speaking, he listens before deciding, because a calm mind outlives the noise of the moment. Some men chase the night, some men fight the night, but the wise ones just move through it. But the road ahead will know exactly who walked it. Quiet men understand the danger of quick anger, the cost of careless words, and the weight of unfinished thoughts. They watch enough life to see how easily noise disguises weakness. In a dim corner of the bar, a man studies the room like a reader returning to an old familiar book. He's seen the same characters before, the loud dreamers, the restless fighters, the ones who believe the night belongs to them. But he also knows the night eventually belongs to silence. Quiet men understand. They understand patience, 'cause they have waited. They understand loss, because they have carried it. They understand distance, because sometimes walking away is the only honorable move. There was a time he believed every battle must be answered, every insult must be corrected, every misunderstanding explained. Now he knows better. Some things deserve silence, some people deserve distance, and some nights deserve nothing but calm. Quiet men understand. In the strange peace that arises after pride finally sits down, quiet men understand why silence is sometimes the final answer.
The bar is nearly empty now, a piano breathing slow, candlelight along the counter in a quiet amber glow. A gentleman sits in the corner, watching strangers drift away, letting old regrets grow softer as the night begins to stay. There were years he chased the daylight, trying hard to prove his name. Every argument a battle, every victory a game. This is the silence that built him. Through the nights he walked alone, not the absence of emotion, just a strength he slowly grown. This is the silence that built him, calm beneath the midnight sky, where the loud men chase their echoes and the quiet men survive. Time has ways of teaching patience through the things you cannot keep, through the promises that faded and the words that ran too deep. Every loss became a lesson, every scar a hidden guide, showing him a slower rhythm of the man he grew inside. Now he listens to the piano like a story he once knew, and the quiet in his breathing feels honest and true. This is the silence that built him. Through the nights he walked alone, not the absence of emotion, just a strength he slowly grown. This is the silence that built him, calm beneath the midnight sky, where the loud men chase their echoes and the quiet men survive. He stands and leaves the empty bar, without a word to say. And the silence walking with him is a proof he found his way. There's a moment in the evening when a man decides to go, not from anger, not from weakness, just because he finally knows. Some rooms never held his future, some people never changed. So he folds the night around him disappears again. He don't slam the door behind him. He don't leave a bitter word, because dignity is louder than the anger people hurt. Every step away from chaos, every mile beneath the sky, is another quiet victory for a man who chose goodbye. A gentleman leaves quietly, no drama in his stride, just a calm of understanding and the truth he can't deny. A gentleman leaves quietly when the story's run its course, because walking out in silence is sometimes the strongest force. From now they might remember that he vanished overnight, but they'll never know the reasons that were written in that night. Just another calm departure under streetlights soft and dim, where the city kept its secret welcomed him in. Some goodbyes are whispered to the empty midnight air. Night has always been the teacher for the man who chooses to stay. When the noise of day is over, truth begins to find its way. I've seen pride become a prison, seen ambition turn to dust, quiet kind of patience builds a deeper kind of trust. I've lost things I never mentioned. I've survived what I won't show, because every scar is knowledge that a silent man can know. The streets whisper quiet wisdom. Every shadow has a voice, telling men who learn to listen how to make the wiser choice. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely lights, where the loud begin to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can keep. Truth is louder after midnight these empty avenues where the past can finally rest, knowing every quiet lesson turned a boy into his best. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely lights, where the loud began to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can keep. Truth is louder after midnight, when the restless fall asleep. There was a night, the rain kept falling down these tired avenue lines. I walked past every place I knew and left my younger self behind. Used to talk about forever, used to swear I'd never been, but the city showed me slowly how a story has to end. I've seen proud men lose their temper, watch their kingdoms fall apart, but the quiet ones keep walking with a steady kind of heart. Every streetlight casts a shadow, every shadow hides a truth. You can run from every lesson, but they'll find you in your youth. Shadows don't apologize, they just follow where you go. Through the midnight and the silence, down the road you used to know. Shadows don't apologize, they don't beg or justify, they just walk beside a man while the rest of life goes by. Slow, every step feels like a promise to a man I've come to know. Shadows don't apologize, they just follow where you go. Through the midnight and the silence, down the road you used to know. Shadows don't apologize, they don't beg or justify, they just walk beside a man while the rest of life goes by. And the night forgives the quiet one. Last train already gone, platform empty, humming low. Fluorescent lights flicker overhead like thoughts I let go. Suitcase by my polished shoes, but I'm not going anywhere. Some departures happen inward, no ticket, no declared fare. Steel tracks stretch into darkness, parallel discipline straight. I learned long ago, direction doesn't need applause to validate. Bass rolls under distant engines, guitar bends slow and thin. I don't rush decisions anymore, I let clarity settle in. On this midnight platform, I stand without a sound. The loud chase destinations, I claim my ground. No dramatic exit, no visible flame, just a quiet recalibration no one can name. There was a time I boarded quickly, afraid of being left behind. Now I watch opportunities reveal their design. Patience is a private weapon, restrain a tailored suit. I move when movement matters, every action absolute. The city sleeps behind me, unaware I chose to become the kind of man who simply knows. Train lights vanish in the distance, silence settles again. Nothing changed for anyone else, but everything shifted within. There's something in the silence between each guitar bend, a space where thoughts get sharpened and reactions learn to bend. The bar hums low and patient, glasses softly ring, but the loudest part of any song is not the singer, it's the in-between. I live inside those spaces where emotion doesn't spill, where discipline sits upright and impulse stands still. Candlelight paints cold edges on a face that doesn't rush. Some decisions don't need thunder, just a measured hush. Between the notes I move, unseen but aware. The world reacts in volume, I operate in care. Between the notes I choose which battles to decline. Silence is a strategy when timing is refined. I've walked away from conflict that wanted me to ignite. The fire without direction just consumes the night. A man who governs temper outlives the heated room, 'cause storms that scream the loudest often seal their doom. Listen close, power hides in restraint. The note fades, the silence remains. The note fades, the silence remains. The note fades, the silence. Smoke drifts thin across the ceiling. Soft percussion marks the hour. There's elegance in hesitation when it's rooted in true power. I observe before engaging. Let the moment fully land. Reaction is for impulse, strategy is for a man. Every choice I make tonight was considered days ago. You see calm across my features, you don't see the undertow. Bass hums deep beneath the surface, like decisions sealed in stone. The strongest moves are subtle and often made alone. Calculated grace in motion, no rush to intervene. The loud may chase attention, I master what's unseen. Calculated grace in silence, steady as the tide. There's power in containment when ego steps aside. Ego steps aside. The cost of urgency was speaking far too soon. Patience build advantage underneath the moon. So I let the room reveal itself, let patterns come to light. A man who studies shadows navigates the night. You call it quiet, I call it control. Ooh, the candle flickers once, decision made.
mostly black. The cleaning crew already gone, no audience to react. Tie loosen, sleeves roll clean, paperwork aligned. Not chasing recognition, just refining the design. Clock ticks without emotion, time don't sympathize. You either build deliberately or get consumed by noise. Bass steady like my breathing, drums barely touch the air. There's a power in consistency most men never bear. 2M off is light, quiet empire inside. While they sleep and talk tomorrow, I prepare tonight. 2 a.m. off is light, no applause required. The loud burn out by morning, the discipline get higher. I've learned to detach from ego, detach from quick acclaim, because reputation built in silence outlasts a famous name. Emails never show the hours, contracts hide the grind, but foundations laid in darkness are the strongest you can find. Nobody claps for preparation, nobody sees restrained. But when the moment finally comes, precision never faints. Light switches off behind me, elevator hums down slow. City still asleep, but I know. Tells the truth, the daylight hides. No audience, no proof, just you and your mind. I've chased applause before, it cost me sleep. Now I value something more, I value deep. I don't flex my scars, I don't advertise pain. Some men count their bars, I count what remains. Nothing to prove at 3 a.m. No one watching me breathe, I don't pretend, I just let myself be. No trophies, no crown, no need to be brave. I stay on my ground, quietly behave. City hums like it knows exactly who I am. I've been high, I've been low, now I just stand. I don't compete with ghosts, I don't chase my youth, I toast to the light.
promises that taught me a truth. Nothing to prove at 3 a.m. No script to perform. I don't condemn, I just stay warm. If judgment knocks, I won't answer the call. I learned the cost of caring at all. Freedom isn't loud, it barely breathes. Strength isn't proud, it quietly leaves. I don't need validation from a world that lies. I make peace with isolation and learn to rise. Streets empty like my phone. That's how I like it now. I've learned how to be alone without asking how. Nothing to prove at 3 a.m., just me and the night. I don't pretend, I don't fight. When morning comes, I'll already know. I stayed numb, still grew. 3 a.m., no witnesses. Cold hands in my pockets deep. Warm thoughts I'll never share. Promises I didn't keep still taught me how to care. I don't react, I calculate. I don't beg, I choose. Some men wait for fate. I teach fate how to move. No anger in my chest, just focus in my eyes. I learned how to rest without a ooze, without ever asking why. Cold hands, clear decisions. No drama, no delay. I don't deal in broken visions, I just quietly obey. Every step intentional, every turn controlled. I don't need to be memorable, I just need to be whole. City breeze and broken beats, drums of distant cars. I've learned which pain repeats and which pain leaves scars. I don't drown in yesterday, I don't borrow from tomorrow. I just walk another way, carrying my sorrow. Cold hands, clear decisions. I don't second guess, I don't live for permission. I live with less. No speeches, no display, no crowd to impress. I don't need a brighter day, I just need progress. Stillness is a weapon if you learn how to hold it. Silence is a lesson if you don't oversell it. I don't freeze, I don't fold, I adapt and remain. I've survived the cold, now I use the pain. Street light fades behind my back, another block complete. I don't fear what I lack, I just trust my feet. Cold hands, clear decisions. That's how I stay alive. No
false ambitions, no need to arrive. If they ask what I became, I won't answer or pretend. I just walk my lane until the end. Cold night, steady heart. Sit at the corner of the bar, candlelight painting my thoughts. Every string of the guitar hums a story I cannot tell. The air smells faintly of smoke and varnish. Time slows, the night breathing with me. I reflect on the day, the choices hidden, moments where patience was my companion. Silence my alley, every glance I offered, every word I withheld. Measured, considered, deliberate. The bartender hums a tune, a soft brush on drums. It aligns with the rhythm of my pulse. I sense the shadows leaning in, observing, yet I am unshaken, grounded, calm. I let the night carry me through its quiet corridors. No display, no need for recognition. A gentleman navigating internal storms with a presence that whispers without a sound. The music fades, the candle dies down. I rise, coat in hand, leaving softly. The bar keeps its secret, and our mind both disappear into the night together.
Amber light spills across the polished bar. Guitar hums, bass hums, drums whisper low. I sit alone, a quiet observer of life, handling my thoughts with careful precision. Patrons chatter, laughter rises and fades. I watch without notice, every glance considered. Life's trials remain behind calm eyes, every decision weighed, every emotion contained. Smoke curls toward the ceiling, slow and deliberate. Notes float through the room like soft reminders. I sip my drink, letting the warmth anchor me. Every heartbeat is steady, controlled rhythm. The night is mine yet fleeting, every shadow bending around my stillness. No gesture wasted, no word unnecessary. A gentleman navigating life without display. As the bar empties, I rise, disappearing quietly. Coat over my arm, footsteps off against the floor. My presence lingers like a subtle echo, a man moving in calm, intense silence.
Carried himself like a decision already made and lived. No hesitation in his vision, no need to forgive. The bar reflected him in parts. Glass never shows the whole. He stitched himself from broken starts into control. Some men confuse silence with fear. He knew the cost, he'd paid attention year by year, and lost enough illusions to stand still without collapsing. Stillness is a practice skill worth mastering. A couple laughed 2 stools away. He smiled, not bitter. Joy isn't loud when it's real, they say. It's quieter. He folded pain the way you fold a jacket clean, not hiding it, just keeping hold of what it means. He didn't speak, he arrived. When he stood, the room adjusted without a sound. Presence doesn't need to be trusted. It's found. The door closed gentle behind his back. No need to rush. A man like that doesn't crack, he hushes. He carried himself, and that was enough.
streets are hard, the sidewalks cold. Stories of the night quietly unfold. I move like a shadow across concrete, every heartbeat measured, steady, discreet. The neon sings, the smoke curls high. I pass unnoticed as hours fly. Life rushes past in urgent tides. I remain still where calm resides. Concrete and shadows, my silent world. A man in motion, edges curled. No eyes can find me, no hands can touch. I live quietly, it matters much. Electric guitar hums a sorrow tune. Bass carries the weight of a quiet moon. Drums whisper the passage of time. I walk alone, deliberate, sublime. Every corner a mirror, every street a page. I navigate the night, a quiet sage. No need for glory, no need for fame. I carve my life, leaving no name. Concrete and shadows, my silent world. A man in motion, edges curled. No eyes can find me, no hands can touch. I live quietly, it matters much. The night dissolves, the city awakes. I fade away, whatever it takes.
I sit alone where the shadows fall. Candlelight dances on a darkened wall. A glass in hand, thoughts run deep. Secrets I hold, promises I keep. The night is still, the bar hums low. I watch the world in its quiet flow. Every choice weighed, every word unsaid. I move with purpose, quietly lit. Candlelight reflections flickering slow. I am the man no one truly knows. Through silent struggles, through the night, I navigate life without a fight. Guitar hums warm, the bass holds steady, drums brush soft, the rhythm ready. I breathe in calm, exhale restraint. A life deliberate, never faint. The world is loud, but I remain, observing quietly through joy and pain. No need for show, no need for fame. I sit in shadows untouched by claim. Candlelight reflections flickering slow. I am the man no one truly knows. Through silent struggles, through the night, I navigate life without a fight. Candle burns low, the night drifts on, a gentleman's journey quietly drawn.
Every step a story, every breath a vow. I walk where the city doesn't know how. The lights are dim, the air is thick. I move like a thought, subtle and slick. I see the noise, I see the lies. I'm moving quiet, I analyze. Nothing escapes the man in the shade. Every choice deliberate, every move made. Silent steps, a life unseen. I roam the night, calm, serene. No applause, no eyes to meet, just the rhythm of my own heartbeat. Electric strings on my mood. bass and drums in a quiet interlude. I walk alone, but I am free, a man of purpose, silently. Through empty streets, through midnight rain, I carry my past, I carry my pain, but I move forward, steady aware, a gentleman living in the cool night air. Silent steps, a life unseen, I roam the night, calm, serene. No applause, no eyes to meet, just the rhythm of my own heartbeat. Shadows fade, dawn will rise, but I will move unseen wide. Shadows fade, dawn will rise, but I will move unseen wide. Unseen. Unseen. The strings are mine when the world's asleep. I move like a secret, and that's okay. Footsteps soft on the asphalt, the quiet rhythm carries me away. I was the last, the brazen bone. I take my time, I never end. The nights speak low, I listen close. Every decision I carefully chose. Midnight confession, whispered in the dark. I move and see, leaving no mark. A city home, but I am still a shadow walking where I will. Warm guitar hums, bass flows deep, drums like whispers, the night to keep. I carry my purpose like a channel flame. trees, I fade away. Long journey till the day. Neon crying in the rain, like it knows the weight I hold. Every promise sounds the same when you've learned to walk alone. I don't answer when they stare, eyes low, hands in my coat. Life taught me to prepare before the coldest note. I don't explain my reasons, they wouldn't understand. Some seasons stay unspoken, some truths stay in your hand. These streets don't need my words, they already know my face. I've been quiet, I've been hurt, I learned the value of my pace. I don't announce my leaving, I don't argue with the past. I move like I'm believing that silence always lasts. Men get loud when they feel small, I've been there, I chose the dark. I'd rather lean against the wall than leave another mark. I count my steps, I count my scars, I don't count who's to blame. I learned how to read the stars without ever saying my name. These streets don't need my words, they hum beneath my shoes. I've watched the brave and the absurd, I've watched the broken choose. I don't stay for conversation, I don't stay for the fight. I walk with quiet concentration through the spine of the night. Silence ain't weakness, it's discipline learned. Every scar I carry is a lesson earned. I don't fold under pressure, I just slowly align. Every move I measure, every step is mine. Streetlight flickers like a breath, I pass under, then I'm free. Another man outruns his death, I just let it walk with me. These streets don't need my words, they know the sound of calm. I don't sing like other birds, I stay low, stay warm. If you ask where I've been, I'll just nod and pass. Some men leave noise behind, I leave empty glass, no words, just footsteps fading. footsteps fading, no words, just footsteps fading. Candlelight dances on the rim of a glass I didn't rush. This place remembers quite a man who never made a fuss. I straighten my sleeve, slow and clean, like discipline's a prayer. Chaos always leaks between hands that don't care. I don't scan the room for eyes, I don't lean into the sound. A man who's lived enough goodbyes knows how to stay unbound. There's dignity in how you wait, there's violence in haze. Ooh, I learned how timing calibrates what shouldn't be chased. The band plays low, the brush is sweet, confessions off the floor. I've learned what things I get to keep by losing more. Some men drown in what they feel, some men fake control. I learned manners help you seal a fractured soul. I move with manners, even under strain, because composure outlives pain. Napkin folded, glass aligned, everything in place. It's not obsession, it's designed to never misplace what little calm the night allows. I don't abuse, I learn restraint is how a man chooses. Candlelight doesn't flicker, it undisplays. I walk the streets where the night breeze low, every light a whisper, every shadow I know. The city sleeps but I'm awake, unseen. Silent steps echo where no one has been. Smoke curls through the alleyways I pass, a fleeting ghost, like the memories that last. I watch the world from corners, quiet and still. The decisions made with iron tempered will. I leave no trace, only whispers in the dark. A moving silhouette, a lone man with a spark. I breathe in silence, I speak in eyes. I move through the night when no one hears my cries. Street lights flicker like the thoughts in my mind. Every heartbeat measured, every step refined. I've learned the art of patience, the power of restraint. In a world of noise, my quiet is my pain. And when a dawn breaks, I vanish like smoke. No one sees the man, only the words he spoke. I am the calm, the storm you can't foresee. A shadow walking alive and free. I leave no trace, only whispers in the dark. A moving silhouette, a lone man with a spark. I breathe in silence, I speak in eyes. I move through the night where no one hears my cries. I am the shadow, the silence, the night. I'm moving purpose out of sight.
The candle flickers, its flame dancing with my thoughts. I draw in a long breath, feel the smoke coil around the air. Faces drift past, laughter like echoes in a hollow hall. I sit unmoving, letting the warmth of guitar hum wash over me. Every choice I've made tonight, and every one before, way softly in the dim light, like ash falling into a glass. Brush drums whisper secrets, steady and discreet. I let the world rush by, I remain deliberate still. I notice the bartender polishing glasses, the quiet clink. I notice the shadows stretching across the floor. And I know no one sees the weight I carry. A gentleman in thought, moving without sound. Take another sip, let the warmth settle. My eyes trace the candle's reflection in the dark. The night is mine, a companion to my reflection. I
trace, yet everything is marked inside. The music swells gently, carrying my calm intensity. Every note aligns with a heartbeat I dare not show. And when the hour passes, I rise discreet, a quiet man leaving the room unannounced. I sit alone where the light is dim. Candle flames flicker across the polished wood. The bartender hums a soft, familiar tune. Rush drums mark time, as if the night itself listens. My glass catches the reflection of my hands. Every line and wrinkle tells the stories I don't speak. The guitar hums warm, analog, resonant, each note echoing the choices I made quietly. Patrons laugh in the distance, unaware of the stillness here. I watch, measure, absorb life's victories and losses, all carried without display. I move deliberately, a gentleman hidden in plain sight. The smoke curls, forming shadows that mirror my thoughts. Every breath a decision, every sip a reflection. I leave no footprints in the night, yet my presence lingers, subtle, intense, composed. When the hour wanes and the bar empties, I rise softly, coat draped over my arm. Outside the city sleeps, unaware of the quiet storm I carry. I disappear into the darkness, measured, unannounced. The smoke curls upward, a silent mirror of my mind. Guitar strings hum warmth into the dimly lit room. Brush drums like fingertips brushing glass. Everything moves with deliberate, slow precision. I sit I breathe out with the unspoken. Life is a balance of measured decisions. Every victory quiet, every struggle unseen. I hold my world behind calm, raspy vocals. Eyes meet briefly across the room. I nod but reveal nothing of the storms inside. I am a shadow, a thought, a movement, present without intrusion, visible without display. The candlelight stretches across my hand. The amber glow reflecting internal tide. The bar exhales, the night listens. I am steady, deliberate, composed. When the hour wanes, I leave as I arrive. No notice, no applause, no disturbance. Yet the calm I carry lingers like smoke. A gentleman's mark, fleeting but profound. I slide into the corner where the shadows fall heaviest. Candlelight brushing the rim of my glass. Guitar hums, bass breathes under it. The night folds around me, calm but deep. I measure my thoughts as carefully as I measure my steps. Every decision considered, every emotion contained. The world outside roars, but here I am deliberate. A man of refinement moving unseen. I observe without intrusion, absorbing stories. No one suspects the intensity of my calm. The music flows with my heartbeat, a rhythm of contemplation, of quiet resolve. Smoke drifts in spirals, echoing internal storms, but I remain composed, a gentleman holding the night. I drink slowly, I think deeply, each gesture purposeful, each breath intentional.
When the candle dies and the bar empties, I stand, coat in hand, vanishing like smoke. No sound, no sign, yet my presence lingers. The quiet impact of a man moving with purpose.
I light a cigarette where the fog is thick. The world moves fast, but I move slick. Street lamps glow like amber fire. I walk alone, driven by desire. The night holds me, a quiet embrace. I see every corner, every face. Life rushes past in a frantic blur. I am patient, my mind is still. Cigarette smoke and street lamps glow. I move in silence, the night my show. No one notices the path I weave, a quiet rhythm I achieve. Bass hums deep like a hidden thought. Guitar whispers what cannot be bought. Drums like rain on a distant roof. I walk my life subtle and smooth. I'm not lost, I'm not blind. I see the patterns others can't find. A gentleman moving, unseen, unclaimed. Every step deliberate, every moment framed. Cigarette smoke and street lamps glow. I move in silence, the night my show. No one notices the path I weave, a quiet rhythm I achieve. Morning comes, shadows recede. I vanish quietly, my soul free.
softly, lights dim and golden. I cradle my glass, watching ripples like distant memories. Guitar bends low, bass hums steady beneath it. Drums brush like rain, tapping on a silent window. I think of the life I navigate quietly. Every victory understated, every struggle contained. The conversations float by, I nod politely, yet no one senses the deliberation behind my eyes. The stranger laughs, the sound light but fleeting. I trace the movement of shadows along the wall. I remember yesterday, the choices I made. All wait, all silent, all unseen. I tilt my glass, feeling the warmth linger. The candle flickers in reflection, a private stage. I am here yet not, a presence felt not seen. A gentleman holding the night in his hands. As the hour wanes, as I rise slowly, the chair slides without protest, leaving no mark outside. The world moves unaware. Inside I carry calm, intensity, discretion.